I'm Scott Anger. I'm a private investigator. I'd been out of the office for a month doing a little too much thinking and a lot too much drinking. Now I was out of the gutter and back at my desk. I needed something to get me back into the swing of things. 2 seconds later, she walked in.
Mr. Spencer?
No, I'm Scott Anger. That's Ralph Spencer over there.
Ma'am?
How can we help you, Mrs.
Klein. Miss Carol Klein. It's my brother, Dan. We're from Oregon, and he has a job here in the city. He always sends a check home, every month, always. Nothing came in June. Now it's nearly the end of July. I'm so worried. The police have not been helpful.
They're not as a rule, Miss Klein, but we are. Our fee is $20 a day with a $100 retainer.
That's an awful lot of money, Mr. Anger.
I'm sure your brother is worth it. We'll need a photo.
Yes, of course.
Tell me about him.
He was boarding at 224 Mason Street. But I found out it was knocked down in May. I don't know where he is or who his friends are. In his last letter, he did say he'd met a girl.
Maybe they eloped.
Dan would never do anything shameful.
Of course he wouldn't. Where can I contact you, Miss Klein?
I live in Yellow Plains, Oregon. I'm afraid I don't have a phone. Please write me when you find him.
I'll do better than that. I'll bring him home.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's been a while since I made a woman smile. It made me want to find her brother, so I could see that smile again. What do you reckon, Ralph?
I reckon Dan didn't put much into those letters, unless she knows more than she's telling. But her money's good, and that buys 3 days of your time.
Only 3 days?
That's right. On August 1st, you start a new case. You're taking the train to New York to put a tail on a crooked lawyer named Thurston Granger. So get going, partner.
It's a greeting from Ralph's brother. Dear Ralph, having a wonderful time. Wish it was with her, Sam. Sam Spencer is to good taste what Attila the Hun was to Roman architecture. What do you reckon, Ralph?
I reckon Dan Klein might have made the news. Maybe he's been arrested. Maybe he's hiding out. Check at Jake's joint. Hell, maybe he's been elected mayor. No, you don't. We can't even afford the last phone bill.
This is important.
So is money. Vamos. Oh, yeah. I locked the back door for safety reasons. Remember that time you staggered out loaded and fell clear down the back stairs? No, of course you wouldn't. Get the front door, will you? I'll unlock the back door for you.
I want my rent now. Today. 150 smackaroos.
Say, Jack.
No, you don't, Bub. I want money, not one of your lame excuses. Nobody wants to buy your lame excuses.
That's okay. I ain't selling them. There are many beautiful human beings on God's green earth. Jack Menzies is not one of them.
That'll do. But I want the rest in 7 days or you're both out.
Thanks for backing me up there, Ralph.
Sorry, Scott. I'll handle him next time.
Better do a good job. I think he's serious. Emptier than my checking account. The alley next to our office. The place where Angela was killed. The bullet holes in the wall are the same as they were when I looked at them drunk the other million times. The cops got the bullets. I got lonely. She's dead now. My fault. I don't want to think about it because if I do, I'll need a drink and then another, and before long I'll be waking face down in the gutter again. Heat wave or not, I'm always cold here. A bullet hole. And the bullet's still home. It's playing hard to get. Looks like a small caliber, but big enough to kill. My car. It has an engine that runs and the right amount of wheels. Mac the barber. I'm always polite to Mac. Never insult a man who's handy with a cutthroat razor. Howdy, Mac.
Hey, Scott. Towel time.
I tell you, Scott, what's got 4 legs and smells like glue? Periwig. Is that horse a nag or what? Do you believe it? Tiger's Revenge, race 4, 10 on the nose. Got it.
Finish. You got my nickel?
Have a nice day, Scott.
Meg's Diner. Not much wrong with it, except the customers don't talk, the staff are rude, and the food's lousy. Reminds me of home. Meg is never glad to see me, and she never says goodbye. Hello, Meg. You can't buy that sort of honesty. Donuts and coffee, thanks. Mayor announces new crime reform. Seems the mayor thinks there are too many criminals running around, so he's going to teach them a lesson. Let me guess. Spelling? Math? Not bad. Reminded me of coffee.
Where's the tip?
Where's the service? The city police station, guaranteed to contain criminals, police, and bad coffee. Officer Jim Denton. When I first met him, Denton had a wife, a job in homicide, and a stomach ulcer. The wife skipped. The homicide job went when he stood up for me the time I got caught concealing evidence. Now he's got a dead-end posting at the front desk. He's still got the ulcer.
Hey! Look what dragged himself up out of the gutter.
Glad I've got your sympathy.
I'm oozing sympathy today, but no more shootouts, okay?
I was drunk.
What if it would have been people and not bottles? I like you, Anger. I'll let you go. But if I catch you with a gun again, I'm gonna revoke your private investigator's license, and you're out of work, you understand?
You're all heart.
Glad to see you back, Anger. I mean that. Are you on a case, or are you here to practice your insults?
I dug this out of a wall. What can you tell me about it?
Where did you find it?
If I told you, you'd get mad at me.
Supposing I get mad at you anyway.
Trust me on this one.
I'll have the boys in ballistics check it out.
Thanks. I better get a refill.
A raid roster. It's a schedule of upcoming license raids on clubs. Let me see. August the 1st. Rostered officers, Scully and Coleman. Establishment, number 1, Dog Alley. Proprietor, Jacob Turner. Tell me about Dan Klein.
Never heard of him. I guess he ain't done anything wrong yet.
That's Dan Small.
Dan Small?
Pretty sure.
Small fry, more than likely. Haven't pinned anything on him yet, but I heard he hangs around with lowlife.
Got any names for me?
No one springs to mind.
So, Dan Klein is known around town as Dan Small. A man with an alias is a man with a secret.
Stay out of trouble.
What kind?
All kinds.
The Tribune wakes the town with the latest scandal and strife, then serves up seconds in the afternoon edition at 2 o'clock. If you want old news, you can dig in the Tribune's maul. Old news, like Frankie and me. Frankie Henderson. It's a man's world, so she got a man's name to work in it. We had a thing going once, but then she found Angela and I together, close together. I was gonna tell her. Trust a journalist to find out first. Hello, Frankie.
Hello, Scott.
Are you pleased to see me?
In this place, I'm pleased to see a cockroach. Sure I am. You're conscious? I like that in a man.
Clean, sober, and back in business.
Business? I should have known you weren't just here to see me. He's cute. Friend of yours?
Nope. Ever seen him?
No. I'd like to. Be my guest.
What have you got on Dan Small?
Nothing.
Nothing. Dan never made the news, so he's either very, very good or exactly the opposite.
Au revoir, Scott. That's French for see you later.
Jake's joint. It's only open nights. Last time I was here, I had my gun in my hand and a sea of broken glass at my feet. I hope Jake's memory is worse than mine.
You come to get drunk and shoot up the place again? Beat it, till I can think of a reason to start liking you. This I can use. Watch your step. I'll let you in, but I ain't gonna serve you. Sit with your pals.
Movin' Mickey Murphy. A nice guy with a wise face. As a fence, he's pretty straight.
Scotty.
Ashley McPherson. Goes by the name of Gigi. He plays the ponies.
Hey, Anger.
Red Randall Hanna. A goon for hire. He talks straight, but not a lot. He's got more morals than a piranha, but it's a close call.
So, who's for a drink? Hey, I heard they had big coconuts in Hawaii. I think she should get her hair cut and her grass trimmed. Grass trimmed. Funny. Yeah, I'll give you 4 to 1. She's not wearing any undie pants.
Tell me about Dan Small.
No. I haven't seen him around lately. No. Yeah, he used to hang around with Freddie Creel. They were as thick as thieves. Thick as thieves? That's funny. Thieves.
Comes in here one time and tells everyone he's off to settle a score. Next thing we hear, Freddie's been mangled by some machine, and the cops, of course, comes with his finger on the button.
Yeah, they pulled him out of that crusher, put a stamp on him, and posted him to the coroner. Posted him to the coroner, that's funny. Read the newspaper, Anger, you'll learn a lot. Let's play some cards. My fingers are getting itchy.
So, Dan associated with Freddie Creel. The clean boy from Oregon is getting dirtier all the time. I hope he's still smiling, wherever he is. My office. It's on the second story of an old brownstone facing the street. It suits me. I can keep an eye on my hubcaps. They're worth more if you've got the full set. Here I am again. Every private investigator has an office, same as every dog has a kennel. Mine doesn't have quite as many old bones lying around. My desk. It's old, pitted, scarred, beaten up, and worn out. Like me. The desk drawers. 3 generations of Angers have left them full of betting slips, gum wrappers, and empty whiskey bottles. People take photographs to preserve happy memories. I take photographs of unhappy memories for other people. A calendar shows you where the year's gone, but never shows you how to get it back. back at Max. Another day, another nickel.
How about that Freddie Creel guy? I bet they had to slide him under the pearly gates.
Do you believe it?
I'm not taking any more of your bets. You don't pay and you're a lousy loser.
Finished.
See you tomorrow, Scott.
Back at Meg's. I'll have the chicken surprise. Chicken surprise. The surprise is that there's no chicken in it. How about this heat? A record for July. Can't argue with that. It's been hotter than a torch singer's lullaby, and drier than a martini that's 99% gin.
Not hungry?
Not after I saw that. The police station again. The architecture hasn't improved any since the last time I saw it. Denton?
That's the name on my shield. That bullet you gave us was a .32 caliber. If we had the gun, we could match it. What gives, Scott?
I'm not yet at liberty to tell.
Let me know when you start opening your mouth enough to show more than your teeth.
Tell me about Freddie Creel.
A small-time hood with big-time ambitions. Too bad for him. Ended up pitched head first into a crusher by one of his business partners.
The police have had occasion to chat with Freddie in the past. Nothing important. He seems an ambitious lad. Too ambitious. Most of this file is the coroner's report on the inquest into his death. Back on June 15th, police were tipped off by an anonymous phone call to go to the foundry. A thug by the name of Thumbs Mackenzie was found next to a crusher with a corpse in it. Freddie's. The only way his widow Louise could identify him was by a long scar on his right knee. Here's the address of the widow Creel. Wonder if she's worth visiting. Seems Thumbs has got a name for himself in the freelance strong-arm business. A bit of muscle to back the smart boys. It pays. For a while. Pity he took it too far. Thumbs is pleading not guilty. Some guys just don't know when to quit.
Stay out of trouble.
I was back at the newspaper office. You wouldn't read about it. Hello, Frankie. How you doing?
Better than you. You look sick. You eating properly?
Yeah. Hey, come eat with me.
No thanks, no time. Besides, I thought you were still drinking your lunches.
Say, Frankie, do you still do a roast the way I like 'em?
Quit fishing for an invitation, Scott. Until we've both forgotten a little more.
Or remembered.
Always the wise guy. You'd wisecrack to the gates of hell. Sometimes it just isn't funny.
Sometimes it isn't meant to be. Freddie was survived by a widow. There's no obit. I guess he wasn't a good citizen. Tell me about Louise Creel.
She wasn't very cooperative when we tried to get a human interest angle on the late Freddie. She seems all right, just closed-mouthed. Pity she married a creep. All the good-looking dames seem to make that same mistake.
Not you.
Yeah, but it was a close call. Auf Wiedersehen, Scott.
Don't tell me. That's German for don't call us, we'll call you.
No, it's German for don't gate-crash a girl's exit liner. She's likely to throw her typewriter at your head.
My German's a little rusty.
So is a typewriter. See you, Scott.
Louise Creel stood 5'8" and 8.7 on the Richter scale. She had legs that wouldn't quit. I figured she'd be exhausting to be around. I'm Scott Anger. I'm a private investigator. I'm looking for Dan Small.
Well, you won't find him here, Mr. Anger. Come on in. Handsome strangers are all too rare these days. Make yourself at home, Mr. Anger. Of course. I remember now. The detective who was with her when she died.
That was me.
I looked for you.
So did I. I found me again. It took a month.
Angela and I were sisters. We had different fathers. Good-looking, worthless heels, the pair of them. I'm not surprised she never told you about me. We couldn't stand each other. We hardly saw each other in the last few years, but since she's been dead, I felt so hollow inside. As if a part of me was dead.
Tell me about yourself.
You first.
I'm Scott Anger, self-employed as an investigator. Not married, no pets, children, or ulcers that I know of.
The things we don't know are always the most interesting.
You haven't told me about yourself.
No, I haven't, Mr. Anger. But then again, neither have you.
Tell me about Freddie Creel.
My husband was a man, Mr. Anger. Not a good one or a bad one. He deserved better than he got.
I don't think so. He got you.
Thank you, Scott.
What did your husband do exactly, Mrs. Creel?
Nothing much. He inherited. Some from his family and some from me. I think he had other ways of making money, but he never talked them over with me.
Tell me about Dan Small.
One of my husband's associates. He visited once or twice when Frederick was alive.
When did you last see him?
I don't remember. I don't much care.
You don't like him, Mrs. Creel?
He doesn't like me. Sometimes I wonder if he talked Mackenzie into the murder. Who wants to find Mr. Small?
My client. I can't say more than that, Mrs. Creel.
Of course not. I should have remembered to respect your secrets while you were making free with mine. Go ahead and pour yourself a drink, Mr. Anger. I'll get you some ice.
A 32. People carry guns for two reasons. Because they're scared, or because they want to scare someone. I'm sure she won't miss this. Holiday snaps. Or maybe not. Here's one of Louise standing out front of the First National Bank down on Main. It's not one of the 7 wonders of the world. I think the interest here was not in the architecture. Actually, thanks but no thanks, Mrs. Creel. Alcohol and I are currently undergoing a trial separation.
Didn't they give you visiting rights?
Yeah, but I sold them. A painting. A bit more tasteful than the calendars Ralph hangs in our office. No thanks, they make me cough.
Oh, I'm sorry, Scott.
That's okay. Most things in this world make me cough. And call me Mr. Anger, Mrs. Creel.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Anger. Where were we?
What do you know about the diamond robbery at the First National?
Oh, Mr. Anger. I'm worried that Frederick might have been mixed up in that business. He never told me anything, but I remember he took some photographs of me outside the bank. I don't know more than that. Can't we just let the dead rest in peace?
We can, but the police usually don't. I won't take up any more of your time, Mrs. Creel.
You're welcome to, Mr. Anger. A widow can get lonely.
So can a detective.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Mr. Anger. I've never met anyone in this whole rotten business that was so polite. Do come and see me again.
Good night, Mrs. Creel. Well, she seemed to like me, but I didn't learn much. I need to get a better look around the joint without Mrs. Creel watching. When she's looking right at me, somehow I don't much care where Dan Small has got to. The jail. Built to keep undesirables out of public view. Some of the undesirables are on the wrong side of the bars. The smart ones I asked to see Thumbs Mackenzie. I was taken to the visiting room, and then they let Thumbs in. I had to stop myself from throwing him a peanut.
I don't get visitors. Who are you?
Name's Scott Anger. I need some information. I'm hoping you could help.
Maybe. I like you. You're not here to set me up. I'll level with you. What do you want to know?
I think that helped his memory, assuming he has one.
Are you a friend of his?
Maybe. I haven't met him yet.
When you do, I want a word with him.
Do you know where he is?
If I did, I wouldn't be sitting here. Me and him and Freddie Creel, we pulled a job about a month ago. Now, Freddie is dead, and I'm in here. You tell me where Dan is, Seamus? I wish he was alive, so I could break both his legs. I thought he was an okay guy, and it turned out he was a no-good, lousy stiff. He called me to say to meet him for the payoff after the job. He said I was lucky to get 10% when we'd agreed one trade. I got there and Freddie was dead. Then the police showed.
Thumb's story had the honest ring of a man too stupid to lie convincingly. I was inclined to believe him. But if he didn't kill Freddie, who did? The Foundry. It's dirty, loud, and unpleasant. No wonder Thumbs liked it here. I paid the foreman $1 for directions to the murder machine. The smell of death was still hanging in the air. The safety grill. It didn't work too well for Freddie Creel. I'd better not make the same mistake. A corpse. Something's going on, and it stinks worse than this guy. Let's see who you were, pal. Carl Brewer. A dead detective is a bad omen. Things are getting messy. I left the corpse in the open for the foreman to see. A double murder. Now he can charge $2 for the tour. He's already called in the first customers, the city police. The building where Carl Brewer has his office. I suppose if I solved more cases, I could afford a building like that too. The desk clerk was asleep. I figured I could let myself in, one way or the other. Brewer's desk. Doesn't look like he's done one hard day's work at this desk. Brewer's tuxedo. I don't think he's had it to the laundry for a while. Checkmate. The Palm Tree Motel. They built it right next to a bus shelter, and it's never recovered from the competition.
Aloha.
A nice place, if you think hospitals and prisons are the latest word in interior decorating. This guy ever been here?
Ah. Yep. June 15. He paid some money in advance, but that ran out last week. Still owes us $14. Left his luggage. We kept it. He was in room 11.
Where's this luggage now?
Cost you $14 for a look. It's all here.
Dan's clothing. If someone leaves a motel without their clothes, it means one of three things. They left in a hurry, they left rich, or they left naked. That's Dan, and that's Angela. Did I steal Dan's girl, or did he steal mine?
Makes a good footrest. Say, bud, I could tell you something else about that mugshot you showed me if I could just remember what it was.
Does that help your memory?
Thanks, Santa Claus. You ain't the only private dick flash in that photo. Had a big guy in a few weeks ago. A New Yorker.
Carl Brewer.
Whoever. He didn't make it worth my while, so I didn't remember anything for him.
Hey, buddy, can I use the bathroom?
At your own risk.
My license. It lets me operate as a private investigator, so long as I don't break the law, cause trouble, and don't chew with my mouth open.
Seamus!
Room's free.
Give me 11.
Give me $2.
There's your money.
Thanks. And I hope your stay is like a tropical holiday here at the Palm Tree Motel.
A railway locker key, 29B. Looks like someone left something at the station, something they wanted to hide. A diamond in the drain. Not bad. I wonder where this little baby came from. I'd sure like to meet the rest of its family. The railway station. In a heat wave. Must be hot on the tracks. Back at my office.
There he is. What's the story?
I gave him the story.
I reckon there might be something to be found in the Creel apartment. You could break in, but I hear tell that's illegal, and the cops don't like you as it is. Is her phone in the living room?
No.
Easy. I'll call her up and give her the insurance salesman play. I'll keep her on the phone for a few minutes while you snoop around. Good luck, partner.
Likewise. Back at Louise Creel's.
Come in.
Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I never knew Angela to be without a man or three. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say the wrong thing?
Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't matter anymore.
The girl sits home alone for weeks and then suddenly everyone wants her. Please excuse me, Mr. Anger. My husband's a surgeon. He visited once or twice.
That's it. Cheap stuff, mostly paste and glass. There are more pearls in a smile than in a trinket box. Insurance papers. Looks like Louise will get a nice payout on Freddie's life insurance policy.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was some moron trying to sell me encyclopedias. I told him I know all I need to know about men. What else is there to know?
Art, literature, science, nothing important.
Mr. Anger, is this a present?
No, it's evidence. I found it in the sink in Dan's motel room. Maybe he was leaving it for the tooth fairy.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It matches your eyes.
Sure it does. I'll take it, Mrs. Creel. Thanks for your help, Mrs. Creel.
Thanks for coming, Mr. Anger.
So, it looks like Mrs. Creel's dearly departed was up to something involving the First National Bank. As for Mrs. Creel, she's a true innocent or a born liar.
Hello, Scott. You look worried.
Landlord troubles.
Just pay him.
I scratch around to get the dough to pay the rent, and all I get is fleas.
You're looking haggard, Scott. Try shaving.
I did. I didn't like it.
Then try again.
What have you got on Carl Brewer? The last person who spoke to Brewer was his landlord. Seems he didn't have any friends to miss him. What have you got on the First National diamond robbery? First National's always in the news. The big story was the robbery on June 15th. 3 bandits got clean away with a load of diamonds. The police turned up just as 6 armed men did. They weren't just helpful citizens. There was a shootout before police captured the lot. The 6 are all in jail pending trial on firearm offenses. No bail. No further news of the diamonds. What have you got on Angela Donald?
What's done is done, Scott. That woman has hurt you enough. Let the police handle it.
Going my way, Anger?
It's rude to point a gun at a man without introducing yourself.
Well, Mom always told me I had no manners. Hit him, Charlie.
I didn't know how long I'd been out. My head hurt and I stank of ether.
Well, looky here, Charlie. He's waking up.
I must have hit him pretty hard. Sorry, mister.
Where are the diamonds?
Same place as always, in the deck, with the clubs, hearts, and spades. My hands were tied. I blocked the punch with my face.
I'll ask again. Where are the diamonds? We ain't got all day.
The First National Bank.
Wrong answer. Hit him, Charlie!
Being punched in the head loses its funny side 3rd time around.
Where are the diamonds?
Turn it over. Louise Creel's apartment.
Well, let's have a little look-see, shall we? You make yourself comfortable. Now, wait. Let us make you more comfortable.
Goodbye, mister.
It'll be goodbye forever if those sparklers ain't waiting for us.
They did a number on me. But I still got my wits and my teeth. Better start using them. That's using my head. Either I knocked out my hearing, or that's the world's quietest alarm. I'm strapped in pretty good. I hope this chair doesn't plug into a power socket. That's the world's quietest alarm. Whiskey. Lots of whiskey. Where was this place a month ago when I could have used it? For medicinal purposes only. They could use some oil on this thing. Oh, and I could use some ice on these bruises. My car was outside with the keys in the ignition. Looks like hired goons only come in two varieties: dangerous and stupid. I didn't know how long I'd been out. It could have been hours or days. The streets were clear of garbage. It could have been years. Looks like I had a visitor who got tired of waiting.
Scott, I need you urgently. Please come at once. Louise.
Louise Creel needs me urgently. Things are looking up.
Scott, you better have a damn good reason for being... Jesus. Lucky you don't have any good looks to spoil. What's the story?
I gave him the story.
Quite a vacation. I'm glad you survived. I had to give the Granger case to the Pinkertons, but I won't hold it against you. You missed some excitement here. We had a break-in. Things were messed up some.
This case is getting out of hand.
It ain't the first time we've been done over. It won't be the last.
I guess not.
Good night, partner.
Likewise. The Creel apartment. Every time I visit, I learn more. Most of all, I like to learn more about Mrs. Creel. Louise let me in straight away.
Oh, Scott, your face. What happened to you?
Never mind that. What happened to your apartment?
Someone's been through it.
Obviously. Any ideas?
Yes. I'm sure it was arranged by a businessman called Joel Jones. Scott, you're a detective. Will you sort this out for me, please? Here's $100. Take it.
Okay. You've hired me.
Thank goodness. Now I feel safe again. They shattered all of my crystal.
You think they were opera singers?
Oh, Scott. This is hardly the right time for wisecracks.
That's never stopped me before. Those happy snaps of Louise at the bank are gone. I wonder who's got them now. A slashed painting. Art critics don't usually use knives.
They were brutes, not critics.
Same thing, except they probably had nicer suits. What do you keep in the safe, Louise?
My jewelry.
Is it still there?
Yes, thank goodness.
Can I have a look?
I suppose so.
Nice.
Thank you. I'm glad they're still there.
Nice jewelry, but no diamonds. Mind if I look the place over?
I'll show you the bedroom.
Lead on.
Oh, Scott, look at this.
You'd better sack your cleaning lady.
Oh. It's awful. What am I going to do?
It's not so bad. With a bit of work, you'll never know a tornado was through.
It upsets me, Scott. I'm going to the other room.
A wide-brimmed hat. Perfect for keeping the sun out of your eyes and for keeping others from recognizing you. A silver fox fur. No wonder Freddy was reduced to robbing banks. A photo of Freddy and Gigi. Gigi didn't let on that he knew Freddy well enough to go to the races.
Anything interesting?
Bedrooms are always interesting, but no clues. Sorry. Tell me about Joel Jones.
He's been harassing me since Frederick died. He said they had unfinished business and wanted to look around my apartment. I was even followed for a while. Finally, he gave up, or so I thought.
What kind of businessman is he?
The worst kind. He gets what he wants, and I don't think many of his dealings are legal.
Tell me about the killing of Angela Donald.
I don't know anything about her death, Scott. Do you think it's related to what happened here?
I'm sure of it. What do you know about the First National Diamonds?
I don't know anything, Scott. I swear. I can't relax until I know that Jones will leave me alone. But what if they come back, Scott?
They won't. They've already had a good search. Just stay here, and only open the door for me.
Good night.
Jake's joint, still a hotbed for criminal activity, and getting hotter.
Hey, buddy. Dropped in to watch Gigi lose?
Just you... wait.
The blackjack players. Looks like the poker game is short a hand. Red Randall's. We're down to 2 wise monkeys.
Hey, nice pick. You boys go out often?
Shut up, Mickey. Yeah, sure, we went to the track a couple of times. What of it?
Hey, take it easy, horse man.
Looks like we hit a nerve.
No, you didn't hit nothing. I just don't like talking about dead people, you know.
Tell me about Joel Jones.
Big Joe. Well, you know that he runs this town.
He does the work, Sanger. Horses, girls, liquor, clubs, you name it.
Yep, and 1 in every 3 creams waits for him as well.
Tell me about Angela Donald.
Don't know nothing about that, Anger.
Let it go, buddy. For your sake. It won't bring her back, but it might help you join her.
Back at my office. Siesta time.
Mail!
Thanks, Jack. Mr. Anger, we have your girlfriend. No cops or we kill her. You have 5 days to bring us the diamonds or we kill her. We'll tell you where. Your important friends. I don't like this letter. I don't like the men who sent it, whoever they are. When I find them, I'll tell them with my fists. Back at Mac's. Howdy, Mac.
Hey, Scott.
August 2. Morning edition. Creel murder suspect slain in jail. Seems Thumbs Mackenzie was found bashed to death in his cell. 6 prisoners are being questioned. The same 6 are in jail after bungling a robbery on the First National Bank on the same day as the diamond heist.
Those are some bruises, Scott. You should watch yourself.
Do you believe it?
Periwig, 25 to 1. Sure, I'll take the bet. Slow horses pay my rent.
Finished.
Have a nice day, Scott.
The police station, still large, still square, still full of citizens who let their high spirits get away from them.
That's some shiner. You okay, Scott?
As long as I don't blink.
You feel like sharing the reason, or is it poison?
My search for Dan got mixed up with the first national diamond robbery. Some thugs thought I knew more than I let on, so they took me to a warehouse and tried to pound the diamonds out.
They sure ain't no judge of character. Give me the address and I'll get right onto it.
I gave him all the details and showed him the scars. They helped the story.
Thanks. I better get a refill.
It's a schedule of upcoming raids on illegal off-course betting shops. Let's see. There he is, right on cue. Mac the Bobber, August 5th. I'll make a note of that. Tell me about Thumbs McKenzie.
Revenge killing. The guys who bashed him didn't know Thumbs was in on the diamond robbery until the newspaper report. Your girl, Frankie, wrote Thumbs' death warrant.
That's a low blow, Denton.
Oh, yeah? If you'd have told us about Thumbs' involvement in the robbery instead of her, he'd still be alive. How low is that? Get out, Anger. I'm sick of looking at you.
Denton really should see about that ulcer. Back at the Tribune. I'd better see if any more of my rivals have made the obituaries. Frankie was out, but the news hounds let me in. I'd never seen Frankie's desk without Frankie at it. I thought I'd sit down. A torn photograph. Can't tell who. Hope it's no one I know. With the Red Dragon Laundry. Frankie must have something in for cleaning. This should hide my bruises, as long as it stays dark. It looks better on Frankie. Copy boy.
Yep. What do you want?
Frankie.
She ain't been in. What can I get you?
Stick your head out here for a second. So where's Frankie?
Out.
Where?
I don't know. She was working late on the first when two guys came up. Big guy and a small fella. They were talking some kind of exclusive. An interview.
She left with him?
Yep. In a green sedan.
Did they say where they were going?
The little guy said something about fresh mountain air. That's all I know, mister. I got work to do.
Copy boy.
You again?
What have you got on Joel Jones? Joel Jones is the big man in town. Lots of photographs of Jones hosting charity galas, doing good works, attending openings, and otherwise being prominent. The most recent is a Society page's gush about the upcoming opening of his new club, the Blue Angel. There's an address for the club and one for his mansion outside of town. One story says that Joel Jones is a keen game hunter. Seems last winter he was snowed in at his new hunting cabin for 3 days. There's a photograph of the cabin. The reporter was Francine Henderson. She's not around to tell me where it is. The Red Dragon Laundry. Takes a lot of soap to clean a red dragon. Just what you need in a heat wave. A steam room.
Who am I?
Henderson.
Yes.
Laundry. Cleaned and pressed.
Thank you.
Anger. Don't look around.
Jesus, Anger. I said don't turn around. If anybody knows I'm here, I'm dead.
Hello, Mickey. What's the occasion?
I'm worried for you. I don't want to lose a pal. Gigi and Red have been acting jumpy since you started asking questions. Gigi's jumpy at the best of times, but right now he's spring-loaded. He's been asking me about you. That could be nothing. You're an interesting guy.
Thanks.
If you ask me, they're hiding something. Now Red's hiding himself. I've been playing poker with him for ages, but I just can't trust him. At least can't trust him more than the other crims I know.
What's his racket?
He don't say, and I don't ask. He wasn't in the joint last night. Something stinks. Even worse than your poker playing.
You can keep the insult, but I'll take the warning. I'll watch my back.
You do that. Anything else? I can't stay long.
Tell me about Joel Jones.
He's a big man, Anger. Cops eat from his hand. You know what I'm saying? Watch who you talk to. And if you're going after him, make sure you've got a grand jury on your side.
Does he have two goons on the payroll? A little sadist and a big lug?
Sounds a lot like Smart Charlie and Dumb Charlie. Stay out of Smart Charlie's way. He's as crazy as snow in July.
So I gathered. Tell me about Thumbs Mackenzie.
I heard, but I figured it was coming to it. Seems to me like Thumbs and his partners got a lead on those diamonds and pulled the snatch in front of the nose of another gang. Sooner or later, that other gang was bound to find out. You been stirring all this up, Scotty? Someone has to wear the consequences. Look, I gotta go.
Thanks, Mickey. I owe you one.
Anytime, pal. And no waving.
So, Red Randall is missing, and Gigi is hiding something. Back at my office. I'm not putting it on, but I will check the pockets. Her notepad. The laundry people must be used to her.
Expose on organized crime. Mayor's new incentive. Scott's case. A link? Joel Jones. Blue Angel Club.
Wake up, Ralphie. It's time for bed.
What? No. Llama. Yeah. Good shot, but learn from the master. Mind the fork, will ya? I'm out of cigarettes.
That habit'll kill you, Ralphie.
Ralph! 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 He was wearing brown, Scott. Brown! I should have known I'd get plugged by a hood with lousy dress sense.
So long, pal. Sleep well. Ralph's keys. The cops arrived, late as usual. Denton kept me at the station for 2 hours while he chiseled the names of possible suspects out of me. Everyone I named was missing, dead, or too big for Denton to touch. None of it did Ralph any good. Nothing would. The police kept his gun, probably just as well. Ralph's not here to stop me. I wish he was. Let's see. Angela Donald was a torch singer at the Sweet Dreams nightclub. The club was burned down on June 15th. Angela saw an unfamiliar red-headed man leaving the club that night via the back door. She became a prime witness. She hired me to watch over her. On the night of June 18th, I was walking with her back to the office. A green sedan with 2 men inside pulled up alongside us. Shots were fired. Angela was hit. She died on the way to hospital. The car was never found. I might have saved her, but I went to draw my gun instead of pushing her clear. First Angela, now Ralph. I needed a drink. I had a bottle of whiskey. It was enough. I'm here, but I don't remember crawling here. August 3. Morning edition. Private investigator shot dead in alley. Tell me something I don't know. Something that'll wash this sour taste of grief out of my mouth.
I'm real sorry. Ralph was a good friend to a lot of people.
Any ideas who did it, Mac?
None, Scott. That's the truth. You don't know how lucky you are having normal facial hair. I used to go through a razor a day on that Freddie Creel guy.
Do you believe it?
Lady Fair in the 6. Got it. I'll keep taking your money for as long as you keep giving it to me. Finish.
The police are planning a group booking here. No shaving involved. These are the details. You might want to do a bit of cleaning, but you didn't hear it from me.
Thanks, stranger.
Mac is always worth a nickel. Most mornings my hands shake too much to hold a razor. Back at the police station.
How you holding up?
I've been better.
Take it easy, Anger. I mean that.
We sent a car around to that warehouse. Nothing in it but a bunch of empty crates. The alarm was broken, like you said. I believe you, but the rest of the boys don't. I'm sorry, Anger.
Angela and Ralph were both shot in the alley behind my office. There may be a link to the diamonds. Help me out.
Okay, Anger. Anything to find that ice, but let me know what you learn. And don't go running off half-baked.
I dug this out of a wall. What can you tell me about it?
Where did you find it?
If I told you, you'd get mad at me.
Supposing I get mad at you anyway.
Trust me on this one.
I'll have the boys in ballistics check it out.
What have you got on the killing of Angela Donald? Police report on the fire at 1944 Tannery Road tenement building. 6 men dead. The insurance company suspects arson and has refused payout to the owner, Joel Jones. There's a note that Joel Jones owns several other properties. A red-haired man was reported at the scene by fire crews. He was enjoying the blaze. A book of matches was found in the cellar. Mickey Murphy was among the dead. He told me to watch my back, but to watch his own. I'll miss you, Mickey. A book of matches from the Sweet Dreams nightclub. That's where Angela used to sing, before it burned down a month back. Smells like the same smoke to me.
Here you go.
She was killed outside the office of Spencer and Anger Investigations. Scott Anger was a witness. He reported that a green sedan pulled up alongside, and shots were fired. Donald was shot in the throat. She was dead on arrival. 3 .44 caliber rounds were found embedded in the wall of the building behind Donald. A cop on the beat saw a woman running from the area shortly after the shooting. She wore a silver fox fur and large hat. Police were unable to trace her.
I know you won't do anything stupid. Revenge is just another kind of murder, Anger.
Tell me about Mickey Murphy.
The window at street level was broken. The cellar's choked with metal shards from gasoline cans, soot, and rubble. A crude gasoline bomb started the fire and killed 6 men.
Including Mickey Murphy.
Yeah. Moving Mickey. He wasn't such a bad guy. He used to apologize every time we arrested him. Stay out of trouble.
Time for some sewing. Darn. It should hold together, so long as I don't do anything strenuous, like breathing. So long as I don't sneeze, it should stay there for a few hours. The Blue Angel nightclub. I knew the angel who used to sing here, back when it was the Sweet Dreams. That all went up in smoke. The front door was shut tight, but there was a light at the back door. I went in. An old friend was waiting for me just inside.
You here for band rehearsal?
Sure. Hope I'm not late.
Where's your instrument?
I'm a crooner.
Hey, don't I know you?
You must be thinking of my brother. He's in the circus.
Oh, yeah? I like the circus.
Sure you do. Which way to the rehearsal room?
Go down that way and turn left, mister.
I went backstage and got lost as quickly as possible. My cover would be blown the instant anyone heard me sing. If you can call it singing. These will keep my tux clean. I'm ready to do some dirty work.
About time. I don't pay you to stand around. And shave off that mustache. Looks like something crawled under your nose and died there.
Yes, Mr. Jones.
Get on with it. And clean up the bathroom. It's disgusting.
Yes, Mr. Jones. So, that was Big Joel Jones. You know a man has grown too successful when he doesn't recognize his own janitor. Big Joel and Angela. When he was done with her, he threw her away. A mountain cabin called Pinewood. It looks isolated. There's a lot here, but it all looks legal. If I were the Internal Revenue Service, I could check it for back taxes. If I were the IRS, I wouldn't be dressed as a janitor breaking into someone's office in the middle of the night. Let's see. There's nothing on Angela, but there's some stuff on the Sweet Dreams. It was losing money like they'd stopped printing the stuff. The only nights they got a decent take was when Angela was singing. G.G. McPherson. Nothing under McPherson. G for G.G. Nothing. Wait. His real name is Ashley. No wonder he named himself after a horse. Nope. Nothing under A. Frankie rates a whole file. It's all the stories she's written in the Tribune about J. Jones, businessman. Some of them border on libel. Not a girl, Frankie. But I don't think the big man likes you. That might not have been wise. Red Randall Hanna. There's a receipt here for services rendered. Consultancy work. June 15. I didn't know Red was a consultant. I think I'll keep this one.
Hey, I thought you were the singer.
I'm a singing janitor.
Oh.
So, that's Big Joel's next insurance payout. I dropped the overalls in a bin. The work was okay, but the conditions were appalling. Jake's joint. Another night in the shadows. Hey, Jake, how about a drink?
Hey, Anger, how about a shotgun wound?
G.G. McPherson, lone criminal.
Anger! Jesus, did you hear about Mickey?
Yes, I did. They pulled 6 bodies out of the rubble. His was the first. What do you know about it?
I don't think they were toasting marshmallows. I want out before I'm next.
Then why aren't you running?
Money. Me and the horses are on a losing streak. But I might sell you some very hot information for the right price.
You might make some sense of this. Big Joel lost it.
Periwig's running in race 8. If this is a Joel fix, then I'll be in the money. Meet me here after the race. If Periwig comes on first, I'll tell you a hot tip myself.
Back at my office. The office is too damn quiet. I can hardly stand to be here. The shadow of the hat and coat must have looked like me, but with more personality. Better there than in my head. I don't know if the landlord will agree. Siesta time.
Frankie!
Someone was screaming. I think it was me.
Frankie!
It wasn't the noise that woke me. It was the silence. No one was lighting a cigarette. No one was snoring. No one was creaking back in his chair. When I woke up, the pillow was hairy. My mustache had worn off.
Periwig, I think you're looking at the race the wrong way round. They don't pay out for the one at the other end.
When does it run?
Never. But it'll be cantering slowly August 4, 3:20, race 8. What say you?
I'm feeling lucky, especially lucky.
Lucky, eh? Oh, I'm getting you. How much you betting?
Put this on the nose, and think about putting some on yourself.
I will at that.
I dug this out of my office wall.
Still living the high life, I say, Scott.
You get someone in ballistics to check it for me?
You're a damn fool, Scott. Why didn't you call us when this happened?
If it had hit, I wouldn't have been able to. It missed, so it didn't seem important.
I'll send it for the boys in ballistics. Now get out and stay out until I got some news for you.
Copy boy.
Frankie always says please.
Please.
It ain't the same.
What have you got on Joel Jones? One story says that Joel Jones is a keen game hunter. Seems last winter he was snowed in at his new hunting cabin for 3 days. There's a photograph of the cabin. The reporter was Francine Henderson. She's not around to tell me where it is. The classified should have the address of Pinewood. Joel Jones bought it last year. 12 months is a lot of real estate ads to look through. At last, Pinewood. Here's the ad and the address. Fresh mountain views. Suit hunter. Must sell now. Frankie's 32. Frankie carries this around in case of trouble. She isn't carrying it with her now. I guess she wasn't expecting trouble. That's usually when it comes.
32. Who does it belong to?
Someone who owns a 32. I went ballistics to check it out to see if it fires bullets like any you've got in Wreck-It.
Okay, Clammouth.
little place in the...
Hey, Nosy, I found your little playmate. He doesn't have what we want. Too bad. Enjoy your last moments together.
A cabin in the mountains with Frankie. Be kind of romantic if it wasn't for the crackpot with the gun.
Scott, my knight in shining manacles. How's the rescue going so far?
All going to plan, just not my plan.
Got any ideas, Lancelot?
Not yet. Give me time to think.
Think fast, Einstein.
Is your hair pinned, or does it stay up by itself?
It's pinned up, but I can't reach it with my hands behind my back.
But I can. One rescue as ordered. I'll bill you later.
Not bad, Houdini. I could kiss you.
Save it for now. Act as if you're still tied up.
Oh, okay, Sherlock.
Damn it! Say your prayers!
He needed killing. Come, Scott. Let's get out of here.
We found a sheriff and gave him a tour of the cabin. He nearly swallowed his cigar when he saw the dead thug on the floor. Frankie was in full swing by then. She had the facts, and she played them right. The finger pointed to the man who owned the cabin, Big Joe. Charges were laid against Frankie, but the Tribune paid her bail and got her out to write the story before I finished giving evidence. Cops are always soft on dames in self-defense cases. Frankie paid for a new windshield. I gave her the ransom note to keep as a souvenir.
That .303 slug that you dug out of your wall matches Big Joel's hunting rifle. That's another piece of incriminating evidence. I'm sure glad we didn't have to dig it out of you.
Jake's joint.
Okay, listen up. Hotel Seville, room 78. There's a man there that you've been looking for. Me? I'll be elsewhere. And don't wait for postcard.
I won't.
Yes, thank you.
A bellhop uniform and the livery of the Hotel Seville. Reminds me of a grasshopper. I'm going straight to the Seville. If anyone sees me in this getup, my career is washed up. The Hotel Seville, a high-class hotel that won't put up with street drunks. Last time I was here, they threw me out.
You're late. Your pay will be docked. Here's your pass key.
Room 78. Looks like the person I'm supposed to meet is not in. I might as well make myself comfortable. A postal receipt. A 2-pound parcel went to Oregon on June 15. Let's see. The book falls open in the S pages. The smalls, to be precise. Looks like someone is arranging a family reunion. 44 shells, the bullet you use when you want to do more than scare someone. A brown jacket with leather patches. A guy wearing a jacket like this was at the First National Bank heist. A man in brown. Ralph's dying words. I didn't know bathrooms came without mold.
Oh, Jesus!
Down for the count. I guess he never expected a shower to fight back. Bearded men are often hiding more than just their chins. Freddie Creel, thief, liar, and murderer. Killing yourself was a nice plan, Creel. Dan was your body, and Thumbs was your fall guy. Killing Dan before he handed over the diamonds was your first mistake. Letting me get close was your second. You won't have a chance to make a third. Denton can tell you the rest when you wake up. I can wait for the police. I think an unconscious killer will take their minds off a fake bellhop. Denton was all smiles. Seeing as Creel wasn't the body in the crusher, there was only one person it could be. A lost brother who's never coming home. Denton booked Freddie Creel for the murder of Dan Klein, alias Dan Small. I gave them the address of Dan's next of kin. She'll be here in a couple of days.
Hey, Scott, we got Freddie Creel on ice, and he's staying there. Ralph Spencer and Carl Brewer were hit with a .44. All the bullets match Creel's gun. He's up on charges of murdering Dan Small, Ralph Spencer, and Carl Brewer. Seen the Creel woman? We want her as an accessory.
About this gun, we matched it.
With what? A China patent? The drapes?
With the 32 bullets you gave us, acted coy about who it belonged to.
Check the serial number.
Suppose you tell me what Miss Henderson was shooting at.
I can't right now. Give me a little time and I'll tell you everything.
You bet you will. In the meantime, I'll keep the gun.
A bullet from Frankie's gun hit a door in the alley behind my office. Angela Donald was shot dead in that alley by a bullet they never got a positive ID on. It could be the same one. I feel like that bullet just hit my gut. Red Randall. Time to drag him over the coals.
Hey, Seamus. How's the case?
The last poker player. The third little pig. That makes me the big bad wolf. Tell me about yourself.
You'll hear about me all over soon enough, Anger.
It's funny what you learn. A few fires spring up around town, including one with Mickey in it, and no one knows who lit them.
Yeah, that's right. No one knows. No evidence, nothing.
Don't be too sure.
Where did you get that?
It doesn't matter where it came from, it's where it's pointing. To the chair, Red, and then straight to hell. Hot enough even for you.
Drop it.
Jake, reckon you could stand to have some police in your joint this once?
I reckon I could. This once.
The cops came and dragged Red away. I gave them what I had in him and the fires, and they liked the sound of it. I'd done a good night's work. 2 days later, I had a visitor from Oregon. Come in. Please, have a seat.
The police sent me a telegram.
I'm sorry, Miss Klein.
Without you, I never would have known.
No one would. Sometimes it's better not to.
I owe you this.
This money is wrong. I don't like what it bought you. Please take it back.
I'll spend it on flowers.
Spend it on dreams. Tell me about Dan Small.
Klein is German for small. I suppose Dan was trying to save the family name. I'm sorry to have made it hard to find him.
You didn't know.
Officer Denton told me about the scar on his leg. He got it when he was 10. He was fishing.
Hey, fishing's not that sad. All kinds of nice people go fishing.
Thank you.
Tell me about Angela Donald.
Nothing.
How about the killing of Carl Brewer?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I hired him, and then I didn't hear. I thought he was just lazy, so I hired you.
If you'd told us about him, Ralph and I might have known to watch out.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. What do you know about the First National Diamonds?
I haven't told the police this, Mr. Anger. I got a package in the mail 2 months ago. It was full of diamonds. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where Dad had got them from. I knew it couldn't be legal, but I didn't want to get him into trouble. So I hired a detective to find him. I should have called the police.
Where are they now?
They're here. Will you take them for me? Please don't bring Dan into it.
No promises, but I'll see what I can do.
I should go.
Thanks for coming.
No, thank you, Mr. Anger.
Oh, Miss Klein, you got your suitcase.
It's not mine, Mr. Anger. It never was.
Miss Klein, call me Scott.
Goodbye, Scott.
There they are, a cause of half a dozen murders or more, a heap of trouble over a small pile of things.
I was real sorry to hear about Mr. Spencer. He was a good Joe. But I still need my rent money.
Say, Jack...
Jack nothing, fella. I'm all out of sympathy. You got 3 days to clear out.
Back at Max.
Scott, good to see you. I had a few visitors yesterday. They weren't as unexpected as they thought they'd be. Here's your money, Scott. Good thing I bet on Periwig myself.
The Tribune paid my bail so I could write my story. I'll be with you when I'm done. Oh, Scott! The First National Bank diamonds! The scoop of the century! Tell me everything.
Tell me about Angela Donald.
That's in the past, Scott. I've been thinking about the future. You and I.
Frankie, I know that you shot Angela. I heard the 3 shots from the green sedan. But you know there was a 4th because you fired it from across the street. Big Joel wanted us scared, not dead. You had the gun, the motivation, and here's the proof. I've had your gun tested. It matches the bullet that killed Angela.
It's all true. I was a fool who fell for you. The dame who you thought you could walk out on. Here's the phone. I can call Denton and turn myself in. There's the door. You can walk right out and I'll never bother you again. But if you can forgive Scott, I can. I know things will never be what they might have been. We can try. Take my hand. Hello, Denton. I'd like to confess to the murder of Angela Donald. I'm at the Tribune. Yes. Francine Henderson.
I took Frankie in. She did the rest. I'm a private investigator. People pay me to find things. Sometimes they don't like what I find. Sometimes I don't either. This was one of those times. I was to blame for what happened. Frankie should have shot me instead.
You didn't ask for bail. That took real guts to turn her in, Anger. Wow, Scott, you just won yourself the keys to the city. Tell me, how'd you find these?
I told him. I kept the part about Carol out. That left a hole in it wide enough to fit a police truck. But they were so pleased to get their ice back, they just drove straight through without noticing.
Stay out of trouble.
I've been waiting for you, Scott. Have you got the diamonds?
Perhaps.
I knew you'd win. You're rich.
You've hardly been helpful, Louise.
I'm sorry. But Freddie would have killed me if I had have said anything. Oh, Scott. You've suffered for so long. We both have. Let's run away together, you and me. What do you say?
No, Louise. No matter where we went, I'd still see the faces of Ralph and Mickey and Dan and the others.
All right, Scott. I've made my play and lost. Do you mind if I smoke?
You still want that light? I thought the police still had this. I guess Louise gets what she wants, even when she's on the wanted list.
You're a move, Mr. Private Detective.
Get out, Louise. I'll stall dead in a couple of hours. Disappear.
Thank you, Scott. Good luck. Perhaps one day we'll meet again.
Maybe we will, and maybe we won't. I hope it won't be raining. I looked long and hard for Dan Small, and I lost a lot of friends. Something kept me going, though. Something strong. Maybe it wasn't Dan who I'd been looking for after all. Maybe it was Carol. There was one way to find out.
Faces, along with airs and graces, but there's only one true woman inside. The average fellow won't sight it, the sight she keeps most private. It's only seen through private eyes. A woman exposes expressions and poses, making men think she's got nothing to hide. Day and night they see a mask, but the man who sees her last is the one who looks through private eyes. The veil falls aside, releasing the disguise with the touch of her glove. A candlelit embrace, standing face to face, those private eyes see love. The woman is tried by eyes from every side. Through smoke and haze, men see her and sigh. They see the shadow of her smile, a reflection of her style. She only warms to private eyes. From every side, through smoke and haze, men see her and sigh.